Hello and welcome back to the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. If you've joined us already this morning for some of our National Optegra Premiership games. Coming up, we have Norwich City PFC versus West Bromwich Albion Throstles. Due to kick off a couple of minutes ago, so just running behind by a few minutes, but we will be underway very shortly. I'm Alex Dowding, and I'm delighted to be joined by George Barnard. Once again, you've... Try now, how's that?
Yeah,
there
I'm in, yeah.
George's mic wasn't on, so apologies for that. George, back together again for another Norwich fixture. We ended the end of the previous game talking about some of the switch-ups, or the switch-up that Norwich had made in the second half by putting George in goal, and he's donned a goalkeeper top once again. And we discussed whether or not this was going to be a permanent move or just for that particular half, and it looks like it might be an experiment they're continuing with. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's going to go quite well. In the second half of the last game, he moved into goalkeeper, and it looks like he's going to start there. He did very well last game, only conceding 2, which is pretty strong.
So last game, a very tough game. Norwich finished 9-0, but like you say, switched goalkeepers half time, and Joe George seemed to make a difference in that back position. So we'll see if he starts there or not. Hannah Murgatroyd, who he'd replaced, also got a goalkeeper top on. So we've only got 3 outfield players kitted up and 2 goalkeepers, though Joe George's shirt looks like it's a fairly quick removable one. And their opponents in this game, West Bromwich Albion Throstles, a team with quite a few new players, and of course a new coach, ex-England manager, or ex-England head coach, Colin Gordon. And they've got a few new signings, so kitted up with their goalkeeper tops on. John O'Davis, who played for them last season, but new signing Regan Kemp also has a goalkeeper top on. And then Amy Wharton, Abby Bolt and Amy Lee Julian, along with Matty Harrison, make up the other outfield players. Starting lineups are about to appear, so looks like we have got Joe George starting in goal, Tom Donnett in the middle, Henry Barnard on the right, Jack Fulcher on the left for Norwich. And Throstles starting with John O'Davis in goal, and outfield trio of Amy Lee Julian in the middle, Abby Bolt on the right, and Amy Wharton on the left, by the looks of it. Our match officials team today: Alan Murray and Millie Bean, assistant to Megan Bula. And she's about to get us underway. It will be Throstles to kick off. Amy Lee Julian gets us going. The pass to Abby Bolt. Sends it back again, and immediately Jack Fulcher engages Amy Lee Julian for a bit of contact there. Norwich trying to get a couple of passes going. Possession changed hands a couple of times there, though. And a strong challenge there. Bit of contact from Tom Donnett into the side of Abby Bolt's chair. Direct free kick. Lee Julian will take. Lee Julian to Wharton. Cut out by Donnett. Got the ball to Fulcher, who's sent it across the pitch. A little bit untidy play from both sides there. A kick in to West Bromwich Albion Throstles. A little bit disorganised there. Jack Fulcher seems to be talking to Tom Donnett and Joe George about not being sure where he needs to be on that. Got himself sorted out. Henry Barnard's come in and made the third defender roll. Being quite organised themselves properly. And Joe George had just crept out of the area, goal area, and therefore able to commit or be part of a 2-on-1. He had just snuck out, he didn't think he would, but from my angle, he was out by a few centimetres. So here's now the organisation needs to be that the defender, in this case Tom Donner, cannot go behind the line fully, whereas the goalkeeper, Joe George, can. Indirect free kick. Sent from one Amy to the next. Tried to get a little turn around the corner to sneak it into the goal. Hasn't quite pulled it off. Joe George then with the ball. Goal kick. Send the ball down the line. Intercepted a couple of times. A little bit scrappy. Tom Donner's come away with it. Oh, quite a harsh 2-on-1 there, I feel. But from our angle, we can't always see it as clearly as the match officials. Amy Lee Julian to Abby Bolt. Wharton back to Julian. Julian again to Bolt. Bolt tries to find a ball across. And Tom Donner got it away nicely. Jack Fulcher had a sneaky attempt on goal. John Davis adjusted his chair well and got himself into position. Jack Fulcher's done well though in the resulting contest. A kick in for Norwich. First opportunity to really test Throstles. Tom Donner's going to be send the ball down to potentially Jack Fulcher. Didn't quite connect properly, Jack, on that. Throstles managed to clear the ball. Joe George with the opportunity to push it towards Henry Barnard, but Amy Wharton back to Amy Lee Julian, spreads it nicely to Abby Bolt. Abby Bolt tries to push it towards goal. Cross comes shot. Doesn't make its way to Wharton or the goal. And Tom Donner brings the ball out for Norwich. Trying to get past the stout defence of Throstles. And Lee Julian clears the ball. Back and forth between Norwich players and Lee Julian. Trying to get a bit of shape to be able to control the game. Just not quite sending the passes through the passing lanes at the moment. Both teams, good contest in terms of the battle. Bit too much force through the ball there, applied by Lee Julian. Not just contact fouls in power chair football, also too much force goes through the ball and shakes the other player. Also foul. Tom Donner into Henry Barnard, cross to Jack Fulcher, had a shot on goal. John Davis looks extremely calm there, took the ball on the side of his chair as a save, nicely drove it out. But Tom Donner's pushed it back in, couldn't quite make anything from it. And goal kick will result. Much brighter from Norwich this game.
Yeah, it's been much, much brighter. Both teams, I'd say it's been like 50-50 with how they've been playing and where the ball's been. But I think Norwich are looking much brighter.
Completely agree, George. Good analysis of the game so far. A couple of contact fouls creeping in from both teams. Tom Donner and Lee Julian both getting quite competitive in that middle of that pitch. Match official, centre referee Megan Bueller just having a word with both players. So John Davis to restart. Out to Bolt, back to Davis. Spreads it wide, trying to find Wharton, but she's cramped up by Jack Fulcher's presence. Lee Julian has won that ball back. Ricochets off Fulcher's chair for a kick-in. Lee Julian tries to find Bolt, but Tom Donner much quicker on the off the mark than they were in the first game. So they're keeping it much tighter, anticipating a bit better. good game so far. For Norwich. Lovely touch through for Henry Barnard. Take the touch down to the line. Unfortunately, he's a little bit too close. 2-on-1 has been given. Indirect free kick. Lee Julian plays the ball in. Ricochets off Tom Donner's front bumper, and we've got a corner. So in this scenario, Norwich can have their goalkeeper behind the line. They've got to have their defender at least 1 metre inside the post. They can only have 2 players in total in the box, which is Joe George and Tom Donner. So Jack Fulcher at the top of the box has to be very careful. He can give away a 2-on-1 with Tom Donner, but not with Joe George. We've moved a few spectators around to make sure that Hamilton's got enough space for this goal kick. Bolt sat top of the box. Lee Julian at the back post. And Tom Donner comes out well, intercepts the ball, and released Jack Fulcher well to go down the line. He's up and engaged with John Davis, who has done very, very well. And changed the direction of play for Throstles. Brought his team right back up in. He's beaten 2 players already now into the area. Got Bolt out on one wing, just transferring over because of the potential 2-on-1. Bolt will come back. And a free kick given for going through the ball there. Norwich chance to relieve some of the pressure. Tom Donner, ball in. Couldn't find anyone but Amy Wharton. Sadly couldn't control the ball for Throstles. So has ricocheted off her chair, out for a kick-in. Goal kick then to Norwich. Jack Fulcher takes the pick off from Tom Donner, but runs into Lee Julian. Tom Donner now engaging Lee Julian, taking the ball right up into the West Brom box. He's got Henry Barnard centrally and Jack Fulcher lurking towards the back post if he can get a ball back to them. Lee Julian doing well to marshal Tom Donner. However, previous contact foul was given, I think, there. A bit of advantage was played, but couldn't happen. So John O'Davis is going to have to be behind the line at this point if he wants to be that close to the post. Amy Lee Julian will need to be 5 metres away from the ball. It looks direct. John O'Davis just not quite behind the line. Assistant referee Millie Bean pointing that out. Everyone's now set, so we have a direct free kick. Tom Donner's there. Henry Barnard's on the goal line. Fired at Henry Barnard. Tried to turn into the space where John O'Davis was probably going to vacate, and he had done. Didn't quite make that one count. Fired out for a goal kick. But green shoots for Norwich.
Yeah, I mean, they've been looking much more lively. And at the moment, I think they'll get a point or 2 out of this.
So, as it stands, they will indeed get a point. But if they can generate a few more opportunities like that and get themselves a goal, it could be more. Throstles coach Colin Gordon marshalling his players where he wants them. Good release from Lee Julian for Bolt, who's brought the ball down. Met by Tom Donnett. She's got the ball back to Lee Julian. Can she find Wharton at the far post? She can. Well saved by Joe George. Touch off the front of his bumper onto the post, and then it just rolls around for a corner. This time slight change of personnel. So two Amy's have swapped. Lee Julian will take the corner, and Amy Wharton is now at the back post. Ball does not get to either of them. It went across to Henry Barnard, but ricochets back, and a 2-on-1 from the resulting slight chaos from Norwich. So back in their positions, Lee Julian finds Wharton, who tries to full spin back, but doesn't quite connect, but does get it to Lee Julian. Bit of interplay between Bolt and Lee Julian. Well, covered by Donna. It's gone out for a kick-in. Back in play. Well found by Amy Bolt. Amy Wharton's at the back post, was well found there and got a shot in, but not quite enough power and pace in that move to beat Tom Donna, who is very quick to cover it. Tom Donna cleverly playing the ball slowly alongside Abby Bolt, waiting for her to either give away a 2-on-1 with Amy Lee Julian or move off and give him more space. Could be a 2-on-1 there, I think. Very, very close, that one. Wharton and Lee Julian. Donna's looking for slightly bit more movement from some of his two outfield compatriots. In the end, ball was intercepted by Wharton. Both teams looking to try and get the ball moving where they can, but both defending quite well, and the positional play is good. The ball's broken for Wharton, who's found Bolt. Bolt pushes it back into where she wants Wharton to be. Wharton hadn't got there in time, so they kick in it to Norwich deep in their territory. Not one that you like taking these. Always difficult to get the ball out when it's this tight in. So Amy Wharton tries to block an option, but Tom Donner's done well. He's also got the ball out to Henry Barnard. Not enough pace on the ball really to break lines of defence at the moment. Chairs still either travelling at the same speed or faster than the ball. Power chair, if you can get the ball moving faster than the chair, then you can change the shape of play, catch the opposition out of position, but as long as they can catch up with play, it's going to be difficult to score. First substitution for Throstles. Matty Harrison on for Amy Wharton. Tom Donner pitches it off of Matty Harrison. Amy Lee Julian takes it off of Donner, but I think there might have been an argument for a 2-on-1 there, but we're playing on. Abby Bolt has got round Joe George. Flick the ball back to Lee Julian. Joe George had closed down any passing lanes and shot angles. Deflects the ball out for a kick-in. Abby Bolt then probably going back to John O'Davis in goal. Fires the ball into the box. I think Lee Julian wanted Matty Harrison to come take that ball. She's pulled it square to Abby Bolt. It's going to take a touch. Look to do a full spin to find a teammate, but Tom Donner closed down that opportunity to do that. Flicks it back, but it's only to Lee Julian. Again, flicks it in. A bit scrappy some of this play, difficult to get the ball moving. That one's quite tight on their angles. Once it gets in this tempo of play, it's often difficult for players to be able to change that tempo. It's the great players that are able to do so. Great play there. Ball's moving nicely now. Slightly scuffed by Matty Harrison at the end of that move. Matty Harrison's ball back to Emily Julie, not quite where it should be. Sensibly controlled by John O'Davis rather than try to pump it back up. Could have got a deflection there, his last player. He's done well to get his team into a nice position. The ball's broken for Amy Lee Julian, not quite the angle on that pass. Wasn't quite wide enough. Well blocked by Abby Bolt, and it's broken for Matty Harrison. Big hit, but only comes off Tom Donner's chair, and the ball, for a short period of play, was moving quite quickly. Lacked a little bit of control from both teams. Tom Donner brings the ball up to the left wing position. Jack Fulcher takes up the central pivot position, hoping for a ball back, I think. Henry Barnard on the far post. Lee Julian has tied that ball up well with Donner, and it's going to be difficult to get that ball out and back. Perhaps playing for a corner. Has come out at a slower pace, and John O'Davis has made a nice feint and driven across the side of his box, bring the ball up. Got past Jack Fulcher. Tom Donner's now back, blocking him. Can he spread the ball wide to Bolt? He can. Pass can only go into the gap, or into the side of Tom Donner's chair, and not into the gap. Amy Lee Julian to Abby Bolt. Bolt back to Lee Julian. Square to Davis. Not quite accurate as she wanted, or John Davis hadn't quite made the move forward that she was expecting. One of those two scenarios. And Bolt's got the ball off Tom Donner. It's travelling towards the Norwich goal. Joe George comes and does well with Tom to get the ball out. Interesting little shielding there from Tom Donner of the ball. Waited for Lee Julian to commit to a direction. Quick turn and down the line. So still 0-0 with only seconds left in this first half. Ball breaks for Henry Barnard, who sprays the ball wide. Jack Fulcher wasn't quite there. Amy Lee Julian got the interception. Henry Barnard again. Dying seconds of this first half. Couldn't quite get the kick in. They can keep Throstles under a little bit of pressure. The pitch side clock says we've played the allotted 20 minutes, so into any added time Megan Bueller deems necessary. Throstles working the ball cleanly out nicely, not quite getting the control they need. Matty Harrison could probably done with being in reverse there, but the resultant kick-in is in a difficult position for Norwich, and they will probably be hoping the half-time whistle comes very, very quickly once they've taken it. And there is the half-time whistle. A close contest between these two teams. Both sides be happy with some of their play, but need to be a bit tighter potentially at the far end. Your thoughts, George?
Yeah, I thought it was a good half for both teams, but especially good for Norwich considering of how their other games have gone. So I think they're going to go into the second half in a good mood.
Yeah, lots of confidence to be gained from that half for Norwich, and I suspect they'll be aiming to try and be a bit more threatening as they go forward. Join us shortly for the second half. Hello and welcome back to Court B in the Lee Westwood Sports Centre for the second half of Norwich City Powerchair Football Club versus West Bromwich Albion Throstles. 0-0 at the interval. A well-balanced first half with a few chances for both sides, but not quite got the finishing or end product when needed. I'm joined by George Barnard, brother of Henry Barnard, playing for Norwich. And after this morning's disappointing result of losing 9-0, this is a much improved and happier Norwich side as we go into the second half of this game, George.
Yeah, so it looks like Norwich have been much happier with their performance today in the first half compared to their performance against Teesside, which they lost 9-0. But it looks like they could be ending their game week with a good result.
So they certainly can. Currently on the attack. Jack Fulcher hits the post after a shot was saved from Henry Barnard by substitute goalkeeper Regan Kemp. Ball's out to Tom Donner at the top of the box now. They're well set Norwich. Can they craft an opportunity here? Regan Kemp and Matty Harrison doing well in that space there. Ball's broken across the top of the box. Throstles defending very tightly. All four players involved. Norwich not quite getting enough space from each other. Consequently, giving away a 2-on-1, which Regan Kemp will take. In and around the Throstles box at the minute. Nice touch by Fulcher. Nice touch by Donner. Out to Barnard. Getting some interplay going now. Can they carve a chance from it? Throstles though sticking to being tight. Matty Harrison's spread the ball out to Bolt. Bolt's beaten Donner down the right hand side. Can she whip the ball back to Lee Julian? Matty Harrison in position at the back post for the ball. Didn't quite find him. Throstles then with a kick in. Norwich making it difficult, not many options for Bolt. She's struggling to pick one. I think Kemp would be the preferred target, but Jack Fulcher has done well, so it's going to Lee Julian. He's quickly engaged with by Henry Barnard in the middle of that pitch. Battling hard, and he's come away with the ball. Good shielding. Can he get it turned around and get it back to Donner? Good wing play there. Brought his side enough time to get into a nice attacking formation now. Can he get the ball out of this contest and moving for one of his teammates? Lee Julian is that pings the ball, but it's broken to Fulcher. Kemp having to save. Ricochet clears to Bolt. Donner keeps it live for Norwich. The ball's come out to Matty Harrison, takes a touch on the wing, tries to spread it out wide. Doesn't. Recycled by Kemp in towards Bolt. Throstles playing quite a strong 4-out formation here. The ball is not that deep into Norwich territory, and all four players were out quite high up. All four now in the Norwich half, but that misplaced pass by Matty Harrison means that it is a kick into Norwich. I can see at the far side John Davis, who came off at half-time having been in goal, has now had his goalkeeper shirt changed. He's wearing an outfield shirt, suggesting he's going to come on at some point. Two on one against Throstles. Norwich though with an indirect free kick just inside their own half. Tom Donner, centre pivot player, to take it to Amy Barnard. Pushes it through the gap to try and find Jack Fulcher. Well read by Kemp, who's cleared a lovely ball out to Abby Bolt. She finds Matty Harrison, he pushes it back to Amy Lee Julian. Tom Donner does well. Can Kemp find the ball down to Harrison? He can. Harrison passed just not deep enough, I don't think, for Bolt or Julian, and went a bit half and half. Very tight play, passing lines and spaces pretty cramped because the ball's not moving quite as fast as it could be for both teams. Although Throstles got it on the move there, and Matt Harrison couldn't quite anticipate that pass across early enough. It's that change of tempo where you need to change your anticipation speed as well to take advantage, and didn't quite happen there, broke down. So Barnard has the chance for Norwich to get the ball up, plays it into the side of Tom Donner's chair, is going to drive it up and out. You're going to spread it wide to Henry, has it back again, tries to push a ball through a gap to Jack Fulcher, and Abby Bolt and Lee Julian were very, very close, 2-on-1. So indirect free kick for Norwich. Bit more pace on that pass from Tom Donner, enabled Barnard just to use the front of his chair to deflect it down to Fulcher, but it's slowed up again, unfortunately. Glimpses of increased tempo and pace on the ball. There's some there, and Abby Bolt was pushed the ball, lovely ball out to Matty Harrison. Couldn't swing, keep that movement going, and took a touch and it slowed down again as Tom Donner shut the space down. To an extent, cancelling each other out, these teams. But glimpses that one of them might be able to string something together at some point. Tom Donner's got himself set nicely to try and find a square pass or a pull back to Henry Barnard. He's gone down into contact, set himself up to try and find a ball that would bounce through Regan Kemp and Lee Julian. Barnard and Fulcher would have given away a 2-on-1 there, but both backed off, so the referee allowed Kemp to drive on through. And result in challenge from Barnard. Eventually goes out for a goal kick. Oof. A big hit there between Tom Donner and Lee Julian. So ball was played in to the side of Lee Julian's chair, and she swung to the right where Tom Donner had come into play, because rules of power chair football with Lee Julian doing the spinning action. She's the one that's deemed to be not fully in control. So it will be a direct free kick to Norwich. Seems to have caused an issue with Tom Donner's chair. Norwich coach and assistant referee Millie Bean both there. Looks like it's sorted. So direct free kick to Norwich. Brussels manager Colin Gordon not convinced that was Norwich free kick, but from our angle it was Lee Julian who was doing the spinning. But pause and play again. It hasn't quite fixed the issue in Tom Donner's chair, or something's a bit uncomfortable for him. We're just having a Something going on under the chair. I don't know if it's a connection to the battery or the control cable. It might be that turning the chair on, it's erroring on the joystick. That can happen. There's a control unit within the chair that the joystick talks to, and that gets the power from the batteries into the motors and controls how much voltage and current is applied, etc., etc., in what direction. So if the communication cable between the joystick and the control unit under the chair takes a whack, gets dislodged, sometimes it takes a little bit of a couple of restarts. The classic turn it off and on again. See if we can get it work, but doesn't seem to be working for Norwich and Tom Donner, which means we'll likely have a forced substitution with Hannah Murgatroyd coming on as the only Norwich substitute, which means Joe George will probably have to come out into the middle, although yeah, that does seem to be what we're working on at the moment, and that has now happened. So Tom Donner's chair off at the moment, trying to be fixed. It looks like it is fixed, but the substitution has now been made and they're going to have to play as they're playing. So a few minutes to add onto this half eventually. Joe George now takes up the central position then. Third position of the day for Joe George. Started out on the wing, has played 2 halves in goal, and is now in the pivot position for Norwich. Substitution will go back exactly as they were before. So Joe George's cameo appearance in the centre for Norwich lasts a mere seconds. Throstles also take the opportunity to make some substitutions. So John O'Davis into the centre, Amy Wharton on, Lee Julian and Matty Harris off. This could be interesting. John O'Davis does tend to hit the ball a bit harder and faster than some other players. He's a bit more direct. We'll talk about players that change the pace of the game. That is certainly something that Davis is capable of doing. So an added threat for Norwich. Certainly the passes might appear quicker to the wide players than they were before. Emily Julian doing some excellent defensive work, but not necessarily getting the ball moving as fast as manager Colin Borland may have wanted. Indirect free kick here. Jono lining up there, so he's got Amy Wharton to hit the ball towards. Needs to touch another player before it goes over the line if it's going to be a goal. That's why teams use that tactic. Didn't come off for them on that occasion. This will be an additional challenge for Tom Donner in the middle of the park. Different type of player than Lee Julian. Kemp lurking at the top of the box too. Can Jono get the ball ripped back to Regan? He can. Kemp across the Bolt. Bolt with a great shot on target and well covered by Joe George and Tom Donner. Brilliant defending. Read the game well there. That's the difference that I think Davis is probably going to create. It's that faster change of pace. Norwich dealt with it well there though. Tight bit of play between Kemp Tom Donner. Set ball in the ball goes out between two chairs when they're both driving over the line, goes in favour of the player that's pushing up the pitch the most at an angle. However, on the occasions that it goes out at exactly 90-degree angle to the pitch, it's set ball in the middle. No one is deemed to have pushed the ball out. So that was our set ball there. Yeah, John Davis just seems to be a bit of a busier player than some of the others in the Throstles setup. An excellent year last year. It's Norwich here with a Tom Donner, very experienced Irish international. Talking the young players here through this Norwich attack. Jack Fulcher, Henry Barnard, two of the youngest players in the Premiership. Good rotation there. Barnard and Fulcher talking. Who's taken up the pivot position? 2-on-1 there. John Davis and Amy Wharton. Both encroaching within 3 metres of the ball. And active in play, resulting in a 2-on-1 offence. Ring Kemp, who's designated goalkeeper, was inside the area, so took no part in that offence, but Davis being just behind him and blocking off some of the goal option, deemed to be active. Again, indirect free kick, must touch someone before it goes over the line for it to count as a goal. Donner with it, Barnard on the line. Spins at high speed. Nearly got it through. Regan Kemp know where the ball jammed. Ball jammed at the front of his chair, and as he drove forward and pushed into the side of the chair of Henry Barnard, excessive force going through the ball. Penalty given by both match officials over that side, the referee and the assistant referee. So Tom Donner with a chance to put Norwich into the lead with 3 minutes left on the clock. Ball was saved. Ball was saved, but Regan Kemp moved before the ball was hit. So, manager Colin Gordon trying to clarify what the penalty rule was, and did so by coming out of his technical area, been asked to go back in there. Just to clarify, in the Optegra National League, unlike at internationals, you can't move as a goalkeeper until the ball is struck. Can't move until the ball is struck. As the goalkeeper. Internationals you can. That's probably what's causing the slight misunderstanding here. So, let's try for a third time and see how we get on. Tom Donner with the penalty. Ring Kemp can't move until the ball is struck.
He's
moved again before the ball is struck. Has received a yellow card this time.
This is getting a bit repetitive now.
It is indeed. It's one of those peculiarities that occasionally the laws of the game throws up.
And I presume there will be a chunk of added time with...
Indeed, we've had 2 fairly significant stoppages, so this could go on for a while. Deemed fine this time by the match officials, so we're in play. in play. Still 0-0 after all of that, George.
Yeah. And it looks like Thomas Donegan's chair has gone off again. So we might have Hannah Murgatroyd coming on into goalie again. Oh no.
Yep, looks like we're going to have to make that change again. In that meantime, just confirm that Regan Kemp did receive a yellow card in that process. So, Hannah Murgatroyd in goal. Johan George, centre pivot. Thomas Donoghue off because his chair's played up again in amongst all of that. 0-0. I think that's where we're at. One yellow card. Throstles then bringing the ball out. Bolt, Kemp and Wharton combining, but 2-on-1 given. And I think Throstles may have preferred a bit of an advantage here. I think they felt they had broken the line of defence. Certainly manager Colin Gordon on the side was indicating as such. Got to kick in with an opportunity then. Davis plays the ball down to Abby Bolt. Does very well to shepherd it and keep it in. It's gone down to Hannah Murgatroyd in goal for Norwich. Jack Fulcher with a clearance. Ball broke for John O'Davis, who had a pop at goal. There's a flash of a chance. And so he didn't quite manage to get it on target. Kicking deep in Norwich's territory. Well marshalled by Joe George. Brings the ball out but meets Regan Kemp. Looks like they're playing with Kemp as a pivot and John Owen behind him as second pivot. 4 out now. Bolt finds Wharton at the back post. Back to Bolt. Bolt's shot finds George in the middle of the goal. 2-on-1 in the result in ricochet play. Relieves some of the pressure for Norwich. Joe George bringing the ball up. Finds Jack Fulcher in the middle. Couldn't quite twist his chair to find Barnard down on this wing, but he's kept the ball in play. Kemp seems to have broken past him. And lovely little feint there. Takes him past George, up to Hannah Murgatroyd. George has come back well. That ball is not on the ground and not rolling, so if it went in, would not count. The penalty debacle seems to have energised Regan Kemp. He's fired up and got his team up in the Norwich goal. This will be a very, very late winner. The clock has ticked over the full 20 minutes. We're 2 or 3 minutes into additional time, but we had 2 stoppages for Donna's chair, plus the 4 times retaken or 3 times retaken penalty. The ball is still moving, so that's still allowed. If it had stopped for 3 seconds or more, that would be called up for a set ball. Joe George has done very well there. Contact foul against Joe George, spinning in. Last chance potentially for Throstles to get a winner. Pass though from Wharton, didn't find a teammate. They've recycled though. Bolt to Wharton, whose spin shot fires into Murgatroyd. Davis picks up the remains, but Wharton was struggling, hadn't turned around, didn't see where Jono was. And 2-on-1 given. Chance for Norwich to clear, and the referee brings the game to an end. What an exciting second half we had there, George.
Yeah, it is Norwich's first point in this game week. They'll be very, very happy with that.
Indeed they
And
will. Points
I
on the
think,
board.
yeah, and I think there will be, both of the teams will be happy with the performances. And I think they'll go away with the point being happy, but Throstles might have wanted a win.
I think Throstles with that penalty may feel a bit aggrieved,
Yeah,
but I'm sure once they've had some clarification of the laws of the game and how they slightly differ from international level, which Colin Gordon is useful. I think I understand that. Looks like he's had a conversation with a few people and now is in the picture, just shaking hands with the referee, and everyone seems to have ended the game in good spirits and happy. So a good point earned by both teams. Exciting game, one of the most exciting nil-nils I think I've commentated on. Next up, it looks like we have Teesside versus West Brom. Join us for that game very shortly. Goodbye for now. Thanks a lot, George.
yep, alright.